Hi, I'm Mikhaela, and this is my screencast for the product website assignment. Just to reiterate, the goal of this project was to create a homepage for a website that depicts a product of our choosing, whether that be a real product or an imaginary product. The goal was also to gain understanding of HTML and kind of the inner workings of what goes on to create technical documentation. So to get started, I'm going to show you my final landing page for my website. The product I came up with is an imaginary product called Homework Machine, and basically I created it for someone like myself who's a college senior suffering from senioritis and just needs that little push to get through their final semester and graduate. Over here we have the menu page, which has the user guide, the quick start, and the FAQ tabs. We have a heading at the top of the page, some main text, some subtext, a description of the product, and how to utilize the website. And then over here we have a picture of what the ideal user of this product would probably look like. Going on to background research, I've taken a web design class before, so I had a little bit of knowledge of HTML and CSS before attempting this assignment. Any problems I ran into, I basically consulted this book, I have the hard copy of this book left over from that web design class. I didn't need to do too much. I remembered most of that stuff, thankfully, but I did have a problem trying to remember how to get the image into the code, so I basically consulted this book to figure out how to do that. I didn't want to start from scratch, so I just downloaded some code from this website, which was linked to in the initial assignment guidelines. And then the main documentation I ended up using was this UNM how to launch your own personal website document. And for the most part, it was pretty simple. I was able to follow the documentation without any hiccups. I did run into a problem down here on these two screenshots where you're trying to change the permissions. For some reason, mine weren't changing, and I couldn't access my website from any browser, so that took a lot of troubleshooting, and I ended up utilizing some of these links down here. My main critique of this document is it would have been nice to have a video to accompany it, because there was just little things that I wasn't aware of that I couldn't solve just by looking at screenshots alone. So I think a video would have been nice, but other than that, I was able to follow it and get everything working on FileZilla. Going on to how I actually did the website, so I used this little notepad program that I already had on my computer. And as you can see, it's just a basic kind of text editor with line-by-line coding things that you can do. And so I just changed a few basic things, like right here is where I changed my first header, and then I added my subtext, and then I have a little description right here. And then going down, this is where I inserted my image into the code. And then going down further from that, here is where I changed the menus so that I had the user guide, the quick start, and the FAQ. I also deleted some code down here because there was a lot more tabs on that navigation menu than I have right now, and I didn't think those were necessary, so I just deleted those. I made sure not to delete any of the tags around this whole area, so that way this would still show up. And then finally, once all of that was done, I moved it over to FileZilla. As you can see, I entered the server, the username, the password, and the port that was listed on that UNM document. And then I created my public HTML directory and just moved everything into there. It was pretty simple, but like I said, I did have problems with the permissions initially and trying to get those correct so that way this would actually show up on the internet. But that was basically the process I went through, and as a result, I now have this lovely website that I hope I can keep building onto. Thank you for watching this, and I hope that answers all the questions for this assignment.